Dr. Mel, and we're busy with graphs. We saw in the lesson that we just did that we get different types and styles of graphs. When we do motion, there's certain graphs that you'll have to know, and you're going to do it in grade 10, you're going to repeat it in grade 11, and you're going to do it in grade 12. So you might as well learn from this lesson in each of those grades. Right, let's get started. When we did vectors, when we did the ticker tape, we said we've got displacement, and that's the change in position. So I started here and I ran across to that point. And you remember the displacement was the shortest path from the beginning to the end. We said that will be in a certain time, so I changed the displacement in a time, which is velocity. When we did ticker tape, we said the change in the displacement, x, over time gives me the velocity. Please bear in mind, because it's important when you do graphs that you do not get yourself confused with the x-axis and x now representing displacement. So we say it's the change in displacement, which means in the x direction. Change in displacement in a time will give me velocity, and you know now that that's the unit for velocity. When the velocity changes, you're going faster or you're going slower. So that will be a change in velocity in a certain time, and that we call acceleration. Remember, we accelerate from the initial to the final velocity, and that will be in a certain time. And I can work out the change in velocity, and we'll show you now on graphs. So we can describe motion with graphs. We can get a position graph that looks like that. That will mean the position stays the same even if the time carries on and the time is going and the time is going, but I'm still standing at that point, which means I'm stationary. This graph will mean that you are changing your position constantly, but it's at the same intervals. So you're actually walking one step and another one and another one. So this is a constant change. And then finally, you'll get a graph that says your position or displacement is changing exponentially. Remember when we did pocket money? That's the one that we wanted. So in 1 second, you had one step. In the second, you had 4 or 5 steps. And in the next second, you ran 10 or 20 steps. So it's an exponential change in displacement. And this actually resembles acceleration. So be careful that you see which shape and what will be represented on the axis. Right, let's have a look at velocity. Velocity can either be a constant velocity, which means you have a velocity of 5 and the time is moving on. A constant velocity, or you can have a change in velocity. I started at 0, I am now at 50 meter per second, and that means I actually accelerated. Please have a look at the shape again and have a look at the values, and that will clearly say to you what's happening with the movement. Right, acceleration, we only worked with uniform acceleration, so it can be a positive acceleration. Just let's think about it. It's going faster. Or it can be a negative acceleration, which means I'm going slower. So make sure that you know on which side of the axis or quadrant you're working with. Right, 2 defined equations for graphs. The first one, slope or gradient. You've done this in math, so make sure that you know that you always write down the equation. The gradient is the change, and in this case, of the y-axis to have also the change in the x-axis values. And this is the y and the x that you'll be using in this gradient equation, which means the second value of y minus the first value of y, and the second value of x minus the first value in x. Now we've got to be careful. When we work with a displacement which is also x and time value, we actually have the graph saying it's x2 minus x1 over t2 minus t1. And that x is quite different to that x. Be careful that you know, are you working with x as displacement or as the x-axis? Right, let's jump in and do one position time graph. We are going to say we've got a position that's stationary. I'm asking you work out the gradient of a displacement over time graph. Now, interesting, the gradient of a displacement time graph will give me the velocity. If the gradient is exactly the same, so y2 minus y1 will be 5 minus 5, and the time will be t2 minus t1, or x will be, let's say, 6 minus 0. You will have a 0 velocity, which is true. You are standing stationary, so there is no velocity. Right, let's do another graph. Let's say this is the graph. Let's just draw a straight line. I've got a straight line from 0 to 6 meters per second. Let's work out the gradient. The gradient will be delta y over delta x. That's the math. The physics is the gradient of a displacement, position time or displacement will be the velocity. It's the change in position, which is x, over the change in time. That will be x2 minus x1 over t2 minus t1. Let's have a look. V2 will be, x2, sorry, will be 6 minus 0 over 5 minus 0. And then you'll find your velocity. So it's just the equation that you used in math with different symbols because it's different units. The final one will be the exponential graph. Now here we've got to be careful. I want the gradient. The gradient again will be the change in the y-axis over the change in the x-axis. How am I going to work out the gradient of an exponential graph? We quickly have to draw a line that touches the graph there, and we can determine the gradient. We can then take another point there, and we can determine the gradient. And now you will find that the gradient will change. You can see the y value here changing as we do the gradients. Can you see it's changing? So this will be acceleration because it's actually a change in the velocity. So you will draw then a line and a line and a line, finding the gradients, and that will give me the velocity of the specific graph. And as I said, then it will be accelerating. Right, velocity time. I've got velocity at 6. The velocity is constant. It means it's not accelerating. So acceleration will be the change in velocity over the change in time. Does this resemble your gradient formula? Yes, it does. It's the change in the y-axis, which we now know is the final velocity over the initial, over the final time minus the initial time. You can say it's initial or 2, whatever you choose or how you've been taught in mathematics. In this case, this will remain 6 and 6, and we know there's no acceleration because it's traveling at a constant velocity. However, if we have a graph like that, we see the velocity is changing. So acceleration will be the change in velocity over time. And now I do have a final and an initial velocity. So I can say the final velocity, let's say that point there, is 5, and the initial was 0. The final time here is 5, and it started at 0 seconds. And the acceleration will now be 1 meter per second over a second. And you now know my unit for acceleration is meter per second square. So the gradient of a velocity time graph gives me the acceleration. I'm asking you now, can you determine the gradient of a position time graph? Yes, you can. And that will give you velocity. Let's quickly draw it. It can either be a constant position, which has got no gradient, or it can be an increasing gradient, which means there is a constant velocity, or a exponential. That will give me acceleration. The other type of gradients that you have to work out is with a position time. So you'll have to be able to work out the acceleration and the velocity. So the gradient of a position time graph will be able to give you velocity. The gradient of no, this is wrong. It's not position, it's velocity time. That will actually give you acceleration. So you know you've got two types of gradients that you can work out. I'm going to repeat myself. The displacement and time graph, that will give you the velocity. And the velocity and time graph will give you the acceleration. I hope you can work out the gradient for different velocity or displacement graphs. Just be very careful that you work out the lines and the gradients exactly as accurately as you did it in math. Bye-bye.